Hello, I'm Oliver Culling, and this is the My 70s TV Childhood Quiz. Welcome back to the 21st edition of the My 70s TV Childhood Quiz. This is the place to test your knowledge of 1970s TV trivia and to challenge your family and friends to find out who is king or queen of 1970s nostalgia. I know some of you are fiercely competitive, but please remember, it is just for fun, and we are not responsible for you falling out with your loved ones over who does best. Our quiz follows the usual format today. That's 20 questions over 4 rounds, looking to test out your grey matter, and also revisiting some of the things we've featured in our podcast, My 70s TV Childhood. So are we ready? Without further ado, are you sitting comfortably? Then let's move on to round 1. And this round is our odd one out round. In each of the following, there is one odd one out, a bit like that song and quiz they used to play on Sesame Street. One of these things is not like the other, 3 of these things are kind of the same. Well, you get the idea. It's not quite the same because we've got 1 out of 3. But anyway, let's play. Question 1. Which of these was not the surname of one of the main families in Love Thy Neighbour? A. Reynolds, B. Grady, or C. Booth? So which one was not the surname of one of the main families in Love Thy Neighbour? Question 2. Which of these Chigley characters doesn't work for Lord Belborough at Winkstead Hall? Is it A. Mr. Brackett, B. Mr. Bilton, or C. Mr. Farthing? Question 3. Which of these was a member of the Walton family in The Waltons? Is it A. Zebulon Walton, B. Zachariah Walton, or C. Zeke Walton? Tricky one, that one, I think. And question 4. In 1976, the BBC showed an animated version of the long-running newspaper cartoon strip Fred Bassett. Which of these actors didn't provide voices for the series? Is it A. Lionel Jeffries, B. Victor Spinetti, or C. Bernard Cribbins? And question 5. Our most recent episode featured the very strange cartoon series Bod. Which of the following was not the title of one of the 13 episodes of the series? Was it A. Bod and the Dog, B. Bod and the Farm, or C. Bod and Breakfast? So how's that? I had a complaint from a listener that last time's odd one out was a little too easy, so hope that one hasn't gone too far the other way. Okay, so let's move on to round 2. And this is our marathon or Fil Rouge round, featuring questions inspired by things we've featured in previous episodes of the podcast. If you haven't heard all of our episodes, then don't worry, you should be able to guess at many or most of them. Here goes. Question 1. In March 2024, we looked at the adventures of Rupert Bear. Where does Rupert live? So where does Rupert Bear live? Question 2. We remembered It Ain't Half Hot Mum in an episode from September 2023. Now, the show's title comes from the contents of a letter written home by one of the characters in the opening episode. Which one? Question 3. In November 2022, we looked back at Porridge and its sequel Going Straight. Which prison was Porridge set in? Question 4. In The Tomorrow People, which we featured in April this year, what was the name of the sentient computer that the group relied upon? And question 5. Way back in April 2021, we looked at 70s quiz shows, including the School Squat Challenge show Top of the Form. Who was the host of Top of the Form between 1962 and 1975, and also the voice of the odds in Winner Takes All? And that's us halfway through. How's it going? Round 3 is our Spin the Wheel theme tune round, where I spin our wheel of fate to choose a year for the 1970s, which I then input to our state-of-the-art AI-powered theme tune generator. And that generates 5 theme tunes from shows which were first shown on UK TV that year. Clear as mud, I suspect. So let's spin the wheel. And it's landed on 1979. Okay, let me input that into our AI-powered theme tune generator and see what we get. Okay, theme tune 1. And theme tune 2. I like that one, as it featured a vicar as the main character, like my father. So there's a clue. On to theme tune 3. Only a short burst of that one, as it then goes on to name the show if I played any more. And theme tune 4. Hope you all got that one. And finally, theme tune 5. And we're on to our last round already, and this is our TV Times General TV Trivia round. So let's play. Question 1. What was the name of the flower cellar in Trumpton? What was the name of the flower cellar in Trumpton? Question 2. Who played Callan, the Secret Service agent and assassin, in the TV show of the same name? Question 3. Although it was originally made in the late 50s and into the 60s, Noggin the Nog was still a big favourite of mine in the 1970s. How many episodes of the show were made? And question 4. Who was the narrator of the BBC's children's show The Herbs? And question 5. What was the name of the BBC show broadcast in 1979 featuring Tom Crane, a journalist who reports on supernatural and unexplained events? And it was very, very scary, I seem to remember. And there we are, another 20 questions done and dusted. So while you're checking your answers, I'll give you the answers to last week's bonus question. And that was, in what month of the year was the first episode of the Good Life broadcast? Well, it was April 1975. So well done if you got that right. This week's question goes to a show which, again, I remember, but probably not for the right reasons. The Feathered Serpent, which was shown on ITV between 1976 and 1978, had a reputation as being one of the most bloodthirsty, violent children's programmes ever shown. But where was it set? If you know the answer, then you can let me know by emailing quiz@my70stvchildhood.com, and I'll reveal the answer next week. So on to this week's answers. Round 1. Our odd one out round. Which of these was not the surname of one of the main families in Love Thy Neighbour? A. Reynolds, B. Grady, C. Booth. It was B. Grady. Question 2. Which one of these Chigley characters doesn't work for Lord Belborough at Winkstead Hall? Is it A. Mr. Brackett, B. Mr. Bilton, or C. Mr. Farthing? It was C. Mr. Farthing. He was a potter in the village, and his daughter Winnie used to go for rides with Lord Belborough on his train, if you remember. Question 3. Which of these was a member of the Walton family in the Waltons? Was it A. Zebulon Walton, B. Zachariah Walton, or C. Zeke Walton? Slightly tricky, this one. The answer was A. Zebulon Walton. He was Grandpa Walton. And question 4. In the BBC's adaptation of Fred Bassett, which of these actors didn't provide voices to the series? A. Lionel Jeffries, B. Victor Spinetti, or C. Bernard Cribbins? Well, the answer is C. Bernard Cribbins. Question 5. In Bod, which of the following was not the title of one of the 13 episodes made? A. Bod and the Dog, B. Bod and the Farm, or C. Bod and Breakfast? And in spite of what you might think, it's actually B. Bod and the Farm. Bod and Breakfast wasn't a joke. That was actually one of the episodes that was made. All right, on to round 2. Where does Rupert the Bear live? Oh, I've done it. Where does Rupert Bear live? Yes. He's not Rupert the Bear, he's Rupert Bear. That song has a lot to blame for. Rupert lives in Nutwood. Question 2. We remember to take Half Hot Mum. And the show's title comes from the contents of a letter written home by which character? And it's Gunnar Parkinson. Question 3. Which prison was Porridge set in? And that was Her Majesty's Prison, Slade. Question 4. What was the name of the sentient computer that the Tomorrow people relied upon? And that was Tim, T-I-M. And question 5. Who was the host of Top of the Form between 1962 and 1975, and also the voice of the odds in Winner Takes All? It was Geoffrey Wheeler. All right, on to our Name That Tune round. First theme tune, number 1, was a theme tune to that great natural history programme, Life on Earth. Theme tune 2, this was the theme tune to The Dane Dyke Mystery, which, as I say, I like because it featured a vicar. Question 3 was the theme tune to Battle of the Planets, yet another Japanese import. And question 4 was Dick Barton's Special Agent. Many of you maybe don't remember this, but it was originally a long-running radio series during the war in the 50s and whatever, but then was made into an ITV TV show during the 1970s. And theme tune 5 was the theme tune to Testament of Youth, which is an adaptation of the book by Vera Brittain. And on to our TV Times round. What was the name of the flower seller in Trumpton? That was Mrs. Cobbett. Question 2. Who played Callan, the Secret Service agent and assassin in the TV show of the same name? And that was Edward Woodward. Question 3. How many episodes were made of Noggin the Nog? And the answer is 30. So if you've got, let's say, 2 either way, I'll let you have the point. I'm feeling very generous. And question 4. Who was the narrator of BBC children's show The Herbs? Quite a tough one, this, but well done if you get it. It was Gordon Rollings. And finally, question 5. What was the name of the BBC show broadcast in 1979 featuring Tom Crane, a journalist who reports on supernatural and unexplained events? And it was very scary as well. That was The Omega Factor. So how did you do? Are you joining Nicholas Parsons on stage for this week's Sale of the Century? Or are you going home empty-handed? Whichever, I really hope you enjoyed playing this week's quiz. So join us again next time for another episode of the regular podcast, or in a fortnight for our next quiz. In the meantime, take care and see you soon for more from My 70s TV Childhood and the My 70s TV Childhood quiz.